Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back, Rev Nation. It's your boy, Rev. What's good, everyone? If you're in the chat, please say hello. Show me you're sentient. Show me you have working hands that can type on a keyboard, type on a phone, whatever it is. Say hello. Make your presence known. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. It's good to be back streaming. It's been a couple of days, and you have been missed. Let me see. Let me switch over again. The YouTube promise. The YouTube promise. We don't linger on the starting soon screen too long, so let's switch over. Yeah, there we go. Hello, hello. Welcome back, Revlings, viewers, everyone. Welcome back, welcome back. Holy free, holy ladies and gentlemen, what a start to the stream. Ibuki Enjoyer with the 50 spot, $50 donation. 07's in the chat already, ladies and gentlemen. If it's red, it gets a salute from me. $50 saying, words can't describe how much I appreciate your content. Well, words can't describe, ladies and gentlemen, how much I appreciate you. Whether it's just hanging out or going above and beyond and giving your hard-earned money in the form of a donation. Giga-based. Very, very based. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. I'm saluting you. You can't see it, but I am saluting you in real life. We got to get a salute emotes. I got to work on that, ladies and gentlemen. Because we be doing a lot of saluting. Thank you so much. And Ibuki Enjoyer. Base taste. Absolutely. My chat knows what's up. But that is the first donation of the day. The super chat goal for today. We're 1 out of 20. And that's a strong first one, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the return of the egg. That is the goal. Return of the egg. We bring it back. That's a Twitch thing, but we're going to bring it back over here for today. And I believe we can do it. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're on our way. Just like that. Fabsit with the 5 Canadian Buckarooskis saying hello from the Dominican Republic. Like the smugness in the thumbnail. Say hi to Straub. My wife loves her a lot. Any talk on the leaflet situation? Which leaflet situation? Can I ask? Which one did she do this time? I can't keep track. I'm getting canceled. Everyone's getting canceled. I don't know what this situation is about, but I'm glad your wife enjoys my wife's content. That is awesome. I haven't heard that one before. But thank you very much. And yeah, which leaflet situation? We're always down to defend leaflet for sure. But thank you. And Jason with the $10 donation. Saying, I'm not that smart, but thanks for reminding me. There's always someone dumber. Are you talking about me? Or are you talking about the people I talk about? That's the main question. That's the main question, Jason. But all I know is thank you very much for the $10. I appreciate that greatly. Greatly. Leaflet always in the trenches. Very true. Very true. Sorry I missed the streams. Life got busy. Dude, you don't have to apologize for absolutely anything. First time at your stream, and by the way, I've seen some of your videos. Love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys so much. And Classy Viking with the $5 as well, saying, Rev, say my name. Hassan Piker, you're Desuberg, Rev. You're Straub darn tootin'. Exactly. Yo, what's up, Pedro? Welcome back. Thank you so much for the 5, Classy Viking. That is exactly what happened. It is documented. And Fabsit with another 5 saying, Leaflet broke down a couple days ago talking about past betrayals. A new music composer named Mushi made a video on that. I'll have to check that out because I think I saw the thumbnail of the video you're talking about. I never clicked on it. I've just been busy the last couple days. And betrayals. I mean, I had a. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I had a crap day today, IRL, and it doesn't even involve anyone like personal in my life or anything like that. It's something kind of outside. It's like I can't get into like details, and it has nothing to do with YouTube. Just dealing with some crap today that I did not deserve, and I'm just like happy to be around people. Which I did get around some family earlier today, and also now hanging out with you guys. So yeah, I get it. Life's tough sometimes, but you keep trudging, man. And also, My Ear Trumpet gifting out a membership to Split. Congratulations on that. Thank you so much for the gifted membership. Guys, I think we're like 30-something away from 30-something away from 700 total channel members. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of crazy to think about that, you know? Mm-hmm. Must be Hassan's fault that you're dating. No. He doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that power. Oh, the Tart Knights. Is that like, what is the conversion rate on that? It's red. I'm so confused. Ladies and gentlemen, what does that even mean? But I'll read the message, okay? This is my apology for not being subbed before. I'm sorry. Also, this is my first time hearing you live stream. I'm so excited, dude. Well, first of all, we're popping off everywhere. Well, thank you very much for the 500 ARS. What does it convert to? What does it mean? See, I'm like still new to YouTube, right? Like, it's red. So what does that even convert to? Still muted? Yeah, nice try, dude. Okay, I only did that twice in one stream. Okay? Only twice in one stream. That's Argentine peso. That's what I thought. It looks really shiny. It looks really crazy. But you know what? Any donation's crazy. 36 cents red. Why would they do the red then? I don't care. Yeah, I'm not sitting here complaining. But YouTube was like, whoa, buddy. But thank you very much for that. I don't care if it's 2 cents. I'm just confused by YouTube. What does the thumbnail mean? You'll find out. It's smug, but thank you, Tart Knight. And you don't have to ever apologize for not being subbed or not being here, but you guys should sub if you're here and like the stream. That's pretty dope to me. That's for free. Okay? But yeah, I saw something else crazy going on here. Something crazy going on here. Corbin with the 20 gifted memberships. We are so close to 700 now. We might even be there at this point. It was something close to that. But Corbin, 07's in the chat for Corbin for the 20 gifted memberships. Rev ASMR, you guys keep it up. You'll keep getting some more. What happens if we unsub and dislike? I'll cry? That's what I'll do. Are you mad dogging right now? No, I'm sad dogging. Not a jump scare thumbnail today? No. No jump scare today. No jump scare. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the donuts, Billy. I appreciate that as well. But yeah, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships, giving people the joy of being a member on the channel. And Hemlock with the 5 as well, saying thank you for your donation. And I say thank you for your donation. Very much. Can we get more streams with you and the wife? Absolutely. I think that's going to be something we want to do. Also, my ear trumpet with another gifted membership handed out. Thank you very much for that. And next we got Quad Manny with $10 saying, hello, Rev, opinion on corn dogs. Solid. Solid. Although I had, are they just called Korean corn dogs? What are they called? I had one of those recently. That was crazy. That was pretty good. It was like, one was like a Cheeto crusted one. You played chess? No. 07 is saluting correct. In case anyone's confused by what that means. For sure. Blame YouTube for not fixing the currency conversion. I don't know why they don't do that. For sure. I've been trying to figure out the currency conversions on my own. How's the wife? She's doing good, and of course I'm treating her well, and she treats me well. Yo, JMH Mo Money saying from going through crap at work and then waking up to driving all the way across just as an item. I feel you, bro. Life sucks sometimes. That's why you got to take some time and chill, and I'm glad I got you guys. And also, me and the wife are going to see, what is it called? Project Hail Mary tonight. So that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. People are saying some really good stuff about that. Anything with Ryan Gosling, let's be real. I'm seated. But I heard that's really good. But thank you for the 5. Things will turn around. And Malin with the 1 gifted membership as well. Congrats, Hemlock, for getting that. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you guys for the crazy support, as per usual. Thank you, thank you. I think I won't wait too long to get popping here. Let's see. Yeah, let's pull up some stuff, guys. This is a great one. It really accompanies the thumbnail for today's stream. Absolutely. Yo, in the Lost Galaxy, becoming a member, becoming a Revling. Congratulations, welcome in. I appreciate that very much. Yo, in Hemlock saying close, add a hard G and my name pronunciation is perfect. I didn't correct Leaflet for like 6 months. Glad to hear the wife is good. A hard G. Gemlock. Is that it? I like to get the names correct. But thank you so much for the 10 additional dollars. Much appreciated. Yeah, I try my best to get the names right. The derangement. I love this image. Someone else made one of these for like me, and like all the other people are constantly getting canceled and virtue signaled about. Gen Hemlock. Gen Hemlock. There we go. Got it. Noted. Gen Hemlock. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we're 10 out of 20 on the daily super chat goal. And we're like not even 20 minutes into the stream. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. I think there should be an additional E. Dude! No! What? No shot. Okay, first of all, I'm covering my face. It's not translating what... Are you kidding me? There's been a spelling mistake. First of all, I want to make it clear, I did not make this graphic. Oh, jeez. This isn't even like engagement bait, guys. I say all the time, misspell things and pronounce them wrong in videos to make people correct you in the comment section. It's not even my fault this time. My brain did that thing where it auto-corrects if it's close enough. Dang it! When will you say desu? Yeah, you're on the YouTube live stream. We say that word around here. Although I had to try to avoid it in my video today, because someone did say Rev says desu. I had to not say the whole thing to keep the bit going. I hate getting ads on live streams. Become a member today. Or be patient and wait for someone to gift you a membership. That's how it works. The best pitch I got, guys. The spelling got derangement. True. Spelling mistakes. It's close enough, guys. It's close enough. Also, they use my my Twitter profile picture, which is a good one. I like that one. Has Rev talked about Rima getting pincered by both YouTube and X yet? Not sure what that's about. Nope. I'm all out of the loop with the drama, I guess. I'm all out of the loop. It is close enough. It is close enough. And Old Timer Gaming. Is that me? Is that me? That's what I feel like these days. With a $10 saying, welcome to a series so smug, even Snivy subscribed. Smugleaf. There you go. I appreciate the reference for sure. That's an old timer with a new reference right there. You'll love to see it. All right. Is it time to start? I think it is. This is today's video. It's obviously, we're a little more loose, a little more casual in here. But we're dealing with another Rev derangement syndrome moment. Especially with this sort of spelling right here. It really just feels better, ladies and gentlemen. And Corbin, thank you so much for becoming a Revling. The best decision of your life right there. Thank you, thank you. And you ask yourselves every time this happens, who is the source of the derangement? And it could be anyone, right? It's a daily occurrence, but this is an interesting one. And I saw it all go down about 2 weeks ago. And I luckily got screenshots because it's all been deleted since then. Which makes this even, like, funnier, right? It was all for nothing. It's from this account. This is the latest victim of Rev Derangement Syndrome. A Pokemon gimmick account named Palm Bon Propaganda. Which, this is very odd to me. For those who are not terminally online, maybe you don't understand how Twitter works, there's a such thing as gimmick accounts. Basically, accounts that play a character. They play some sort of a gimmick, right? They post a certain type of content, and that's what they're supposed to do. But this individual, like many other gimmick accounts, broke character to whine about me. And if I had a nickel for every time a gimmick account breaks their gimmick to whine about me, I'd have a couple dollars at this point. I'm not gonna lie. It's happened a lot. It's happened a shocking amount of time. And this one is no different. And I think this screenshot, which is missing a part right here, in between these two, there was the main tweet in question, which has been deleted. But I love this progression of tweets. So it begins here with them doing gimmick account things, celebrating getting more followers, whatever. The next one says, Palm very angry right now. Grr. Then the next one is talking about privating until the next morning because right-wingers and their fans don't know how to respect boundaries. Palm posting will be back tomorrow. Which is very interesting, right? It's a funny interaction. But, like, this is what they're supposed to be doing, right? They're supposed to be, like, being a Pokemon and, like, commenting on, like, silly Pokemon stuff. But about 2 weeks ago, they had a crash out. It was only lived for maybe a couple hours before it was deleted. But let me read this. Don't follow me if you follow/watch Chibi Reviews, Nux Taku, Rev, Asmongold, Kirsha, or other bigoted creators in general. These guys are the death of content creation, and anyone who enables them does not have Palm's approval. Now, guys, I have to admit, that stinks. Okay, all I do when I wake up in the morning is to get approval from the Palm Bon gimmick account. Okay, that's all I want. I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want nothing. I just want the approval of this account. So not getting that, rough. But, you know, guys, if you like the usual suspects, you know, if you're a Chibi Review fan or Nux fan, my fan, Asmongold, Kirsha, fans of them, you know, be loud and proud because you're not getting the approval of this account anymore. Yeah, I hope it was worth it. Yeah, the death of content creation from an individual who LARPs as a Pokemon. Like I said, seeing these accounts break their gimmick to complain about me unprompted just kills me, dude. It's so funny. It's like, what did we do? It's not like I came to this account and I was like, you know what, screw this gimmick account. No, this was out of the blue, unprompted. And honestly, at this point, this dude should be a VTuber. No, I'm serious, guys. They might be getting ready to launch their VTubing career because this is the type of post I would expect from an EN VTuber who hasn't streamed in 7 months. It's like right on cue. This is the type of stuff that gets thousands of likes. It's the perfect virtue signal. Sorry, Rev, gotta go. Need to keep Palm Bon's approval. Hey, you know what? I understand, okay? That's understandable. But there was some initial confusion in the replies. This person said, wait, what is wrong with Poco Rev? And the gimmick account says, not that Rev, I meant Rev says desu. Now, of course, I can say that on a live stream, but not in my video today. I had to just say Rev, right? Because we can't say the D word, correct? You can't say the D word. But there was someone who did reply, who caused some waves, and that was Madam Savvy. Madam Savvy's always in the trenches, getting under the skin of the most annoying people you'll ever encounter. Now, what did she say? Well, here's the reply to the now deleted thread you just saw, where she says, "Ah, yes, hate as a personality is all your demographic has." Which, yeah, many such cases. Yeah, he said the thing, Rev said the thing, he said the thing. But this is something we see all the time, right? We see it with a lot of VTubers. I mentioned that for a reason, because a lot of EN VTubers, they have no personality other than hating on people like myself or Kirsha, Asmongold, whoever. That's what gets them the most attention. No one cares about whatever they're normally doing, which is either V-tweeting or streaming every 50 months, right? But her response clearly tripped a nerve, where the gimmick account said, "Yeah, you're one to talk, you transphobic twat." Whoa. I don't think Pokemon would ever talk like this. That is very, very aggressive. But what are they referring to? They have a screenshot of Madam Savvy. What is the transphobia? Well, it has to do with this post. Now, it's just a screenshot, right? You can't really see the full context. But Madam Savvy would explain this user and what they're sharing, right, in a quotes of the gimmick account, explaining. This account supports grooming. Very cool. He specifically uses this example, taking issue with what I said. That graphic was posted by a very ill person who, in quotes, plays Pokemon to crack eggs. Now, this phrase right here, egg cracking, I have talked about this before. The vast majority of the context with this phrase has to do with full-grown adults approaching primarily children who are confused, especially about their identity, and they try to convince these children that they're actually trans, that they're transgender. And they try to confuse and take advantage of these children. If you're not familiar with what this means, if you see this phrase, it's probably something very, very suspect. Okay, so the post that Madam Savvy was calling disgusting was an individual on Twitter encouraging this behavior. In fact, the person that she was calling disgusting said this: "Feminine cis men have to be trans and it's okay to push them." So Madam Savvy was calling out an individual using Pokemon to get contact with feminine boys, and this person believed that it's okay to push them into being trans. Children. And this gimmick account thinks calling this out is transphobia. I know the context is a little convoluted, and there's like layers to it, but this gimmick account, this Pokemon gimmick account, is angry at Madam Savvy because Madam Savvy called out egg cracking behavior, where a grown adult thinks it's okay to go after kids and confuse them. Rev, don't say desu for at least 5 minutes. Oh! We did it. But, yeah. So I don't think people like Madam Savvy will really feel too badly about being called transphobia when this is apparently what the transphobia is. Do you guys understand why this is gross and problematic? And how this backfired very quickly, because you'll notice that after her reply, the tweet was deleted. Okay, good. Seems like we're all on the same page. due to the disgusted responses. But the gimmick account, after starting to get backlash, would lock the replies. Because, you know, everybody gangster until the replies are locked. And they say, locking replies, F all of you, with a middle finger. Interesting. Interesting timing to lock the replies after a failed attempt to call someone transphobic over not supporting predatory behavior. Interesting. But they would continue, right? They had this other tweet saying, Palm, very angry right now. Palm, very angry. This one's got fangs, ladies and gentlemen. The gimmick account is angry. Now people are like, what are you angry about? What happened? And they say, hashtag they found me. And people would ask further, is it grifters? And they say this whole situation is because people who became Nazis on Twitter because they can make money off of it. So they're likening the backlash to, I guess, Nazis. Huh. That's not what happened, actually. And we all know Nazi means person I disagree with. But it goes further, where someone says, the grifters found you, and they agree. So it's the grifters. That's who's doing it. Then there's this part, where they explain that it's the Asmongold bootlickers who found them, which is very interesting. It's not the very bizarre interaction right here. It's not the backlash because they called out and picked a fight with a bunch of people. They now blame Asmongold and his bootlickers for this whole situation. Which is funny, because whether it's Asmongold, myself, Kirsha, Chibi Reviews, Nux, whoever was included here, we didn't do anything. I mean, not only did this person pick a fight with us, we never even got involved. This all happened in a few hours. We sat back, did nothing, and won. This person basically exposed themselves in their own thread, trying to cancel. How did Asmongold come up exactly? It came out of nowhere. It came out of left field. Completely unprompted. Absolutely insane. But then someone says, you're a grown person acting like a Pokemon. And they respond saying, it's a Pokemon account. It's gonna tweet like a Pokemon. I don't think this is how Pokemon tweets. But maybe you should stick to the gimmick. Just tweet like a Pokemon, and you won't find yourself in predicaments like this. But this was the moment they deleted the initial thread, right? And eventually, they would respond by saying this. Privating until tomorrow morning because right-wingers and their fans don't know how to respect boundaries. Palm posting will be back tomorrow. Interesting. Yeah, it's the right-wingers who pointed out your thread was dumb. And also, talking about respecting boundaries. That's weird. Respecting boundaries. This whole thing, all the backlash, was about respecting boundaries. We're talking about someone who engages in egg-cracking behavior. They have no respect for boundaries. But apparently, that's now transphobia. I guess. Interesting. Again, a classic case of Rev derangement syndrome, right? Person whines about me unprompted, exposes themselves, deletes all of their tweets, goes private, and then just moves on like nothing happened. Insane. Yep. Insane stuff, guys. Let me switch over to this, and I'll read a couple donos. And we will get on to the next subject. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? Gen Hemlock with the 10 saying, don't worry about the mispronunciation. I collect them. It is entertaining to laugh at them. Here's 10 for getting them. Hey, that's pretty legit. You know, you guys better get used to me mispronouncing things. That's just a part of that's the game for me. Mispronouncing things. It happens all too often, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's like people when I say like a Japanese name and I get it wrong. And they're like, oh, Rev, you're getting it wrong. It's like, I don't speak Japanese. Do you understand? I do not speak Japanese. I'm sorry I butcher some Japanese here and there. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But yes. Thank you for that. And also, Dream Chasers Incorporated saying, when did you develop such a distaste for the left? Now, I wouldn't say I hate all of the left, but it's definitely the extreme on the left. And it is the agenda pushing. It's the extreme angle that's really brought its way into so many forms of entertainment and mediums that I enjoy. You know, people are like, well, when'd you get political, Rev? Well, I didn't really choose to like talk about some political things. Politics just ended up in everything that I enjoy. And it seems like it's always pushing the same sort of side, right? Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, what have you, you literally cannot escape it. If you care about your hobbies, you almost have to get involved with these conversations. There's an extreme for everything. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's like people think like, oh, what's the solution to this? Do you want to push right-wing politics into everything in entertainment? Nope. Just want things to be about entertainment first. That's about it. And Gear, with what I believe is something around $6 US, saying, fighting back against Savvy, who made a point about localizers and English VAs is bad, but attacking a VA who got out from chronic illness operation is legal. Okay, Rev, I get the judgment. Wait, what do you mean by this? Let me see. But the VA who got a chronic illness operation. Can you explain that? I feel like I'm reading that backwards or something. Gear, that is. 592 was the conversion rate. Look at you guys on top of it. If YouTube don't got me, you got me. But thank you either way. And Leaky with the 6 Eurobucks saying, according to the normal people, everyone is Rev, Asmongold, Kirsha, or more. True. This is very true. Darkos88 made a video about it. I'll have to check that out. I got so much stuff I have fallen behind on, I guess. You guys are opening up my mind to everything, but I appreciate the further info. I will check that out. And Claw the Fallen with the 5 Ruski bucks, I believe, saying, got to second base with Lilith from Dark Stalkers. You're a great wingman. Thanks, Rev. May you and your wife have a very desu day. I appreciate that very much. And ladies and gentlemen, we're 15 out of 20 on the daily super chat goal, just like that. Rev, when are you getting a haircut? Well, IRL, I feel like getting one soon. But this, you want to get rid of the locks? Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Wait. Did you see Rima Evenstar got banned on X? Ain't no way. No way. Wait, no, who said that? Did you just punk me? Did you just punk me? Nah. You punked me. You punk! That was not true. They're gonna say, free the woman. Bald Rev when? I don't even have the toggle for that, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I should say. Yeah. Absolutely punked. I can't believe this. How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? Yo, in charts, 200 ARS, saying the TLDR here is that we're not against politics and media per se, but rather the politics affecting the development of said media. Like, we can all agree that nobody is against Metal Gear, Gundam, or Ace Combat. Very good point. Because there are games that have political aspects, but they're not exactly pushing an agenda. That's a very good distinction. I appreciate that. And Leaky with another 250 euro saying, bonus super chat. I summon a chain. Come on, guys. They just summoned a chain. What that chain looks like, we missed Strev. Oh my gosh. You guys did miss me using Straub's model last stream. You did miss that. Yeah, we don't have hype trains on the YouTube. But Ligue demands a chain of some sort. What that looks like, we will find out. But yeah, you guys, you goofballs, look what you did to me. Hold on a second. You absolute buffoons. How dare you do this to me? Someone told me Rima got banned? Unreal. Today's thumbnail looks like Rev is plotting to take over the world. Does wifey know about this? Listen. Sometimes you gotta go your own route here, okay? I saw it. You're a bunch of gaslighters. You're gaslighting me. Bunch of gaslighters. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I was like, what did Rima possibly do to get banned on X? Impossible. Finally a normal thumbnail, are you sure? Yo, Lost Galaxy with the big $10. Saying, the thing about being political in general, I don't want to. I just want to live my life and worship my God, but being a Christian, I am an inherent enemy to the left, so now I'm involved. I mean, hey, in my space, if you're in the VTubing scene and you come out and say you're a Christian, you're going to get absolutely bodied by so many people in the scene just for existing. So I understand that. That's true in a lot of spaces, unfortunately. Yep. Rev says tyrant. I'm no tyrant. I love the people. You are my citizens. All of you. You are my citizens. Holy free holy, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare your 07s. Ren with the $50 donation, the 50 spot. 50 bones. Saying, man, I miss the 90s and early 2000s. Where all that mattered was good games. And you could hear neighbors down the street yapping how hype a new game is. I miss that time too. I grew up in the 90s. The late 90s, early 2000s was my childhood. And it was the greatest. I was just talking about this the other day, guys. Things were so, like... I feel like in my childhood, I witnessed the shift from... like the moment social media really took over. Because when I was a kid, I don't know about you guys, but like in the summer on the weekends, I'd wake up, knock on my neighbor's door, my buddy would come out, we'd go over to the next neighbor, is so-and-so home? Get them, and we'd do that until we had a big posse of kids, and we'd be outside all day until our parents forced us to come back inside. And if we did go inside, we were playing like Nintendo. Right, we're playing on the same screen back then. It was good times. And then eventually, a lot of people, there was a push with like stuff with like MySpace, then Facebook. Then it was like, why are we even hanging out? We could just talk over Facebook. Why would we hang out? You can play video games online now. And unfortunately, things just got, they just got crappy. Now, of course, your experience may differ, but things got interesting. But thank you for the 50, Ren, and the trip down nostalgia lane. The good old days. The good old days. Now I feel like if you knocked on a neighbor's door, you might get like the cops called on you. Different times, ladies and gentlemen, different times. Yes, the goal has been met. Hold on 1 second. Let me read these, then I will fulfill the goal. Of course. Inspector with the $5 saying, "Hi Rev, any chance you may appear on Yellow Flash's podcast, Flashcast? He's friends of Side Scrollers and Very Based. He streams every Saturday." I definitely enjoy Flash, and I think I talked about this before. I'm someone who like never collabs, but recently, with Side Scrollers, I'm definitely opening up my horizons, and I like Flash, so I watch his content. So he's a base guy. We love to see it. Again, Hemlock with the $2 again, this time with an 07. I appreciate that. And Corbin with the 5 saying egg. You know what? That's a good one to do it on. That's a good one to do it on. Okay. Let's put on the egg. This was the super chat goal for today. Guys, hold on a second. Can you see this? We might do both, but which egg do you prefer? Which one do you prefer? Or or do you want both? I don't know. The jiggly egg or the regular egg? Or both? Which one do you want, guys? I'm here to please. Right, I'm a people pleaser. Ooh, oh. People are liking the clear one. Wow. I can't believe it. The OG egg is getting dismantled. Both? Oh, now everyone's saying both. Oh. Actually, I have an idea. I have something that might please everyone. Okay? That was my water bottle. It just popped for some reason. Goodness. Guys, slow down with the super chats. We're trying to do stuff here. Choco with the 2, simply saying 07. I appreciate that. Good timing. And Texan Rider with the 07 and $2 as well. Did you guys plan this or something? What is going on? Luke with a 5 saying, very MAGA coded to fact check what your audience tells you. You should prove you're not a grifter by just agreeing with what your chat tells you. God, I know, I'm really bad at this grifting MAGA coded behavior. I'm really bad at it, guys. I want to know what I'm talking about before I form an opinion. That is very bigoted of me. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm glad we understand. I can always do better, guys. I can always do better. Noxy Turnus with the big $20 donation saying, hey Rev, been watching for a while. Not sure how long, but I know it's been a few years, and I remember seeing your glasses size change here and there. What's up with that? Shh. What's up with that? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? You're literally crazy. You're absolutely insane. You're insane. Whoa, guys, stop giving me money. That's me. Put me down in the quotes for that. But thank you for the 20. And the support. And thank you, Lich Emperor. Egg is life with the $5. Egg is life. Egg is love. That is a Twitch reference right there. I know that. Welcome back. And 5 from a Drobin saying, been lurking so far. Finally, clock out time. Why not both eggs in a sack? You're a dude after all. Wow. You know what? Both. You know, you're right. No, he's out of line, but he's right. Okay, he's out of line, but he's right. We need to do both. Here's my solution. The egg on the head and the egg on the shirt. Now everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Oh yeah. Yo, and Leaky with another €250 saying, heh, my chain is resolving. Yu-Gi-Oh joke. Very based. Very, very based. Good for you. You did definitely activate a chain right there. I appreciate you. Exceptional, thank you. But I think it is now time, ladies and gentlemen, to get into the next subject for today. Something I might talk about more tomorrow, but I just saw this, guys. Everything is coming together beautifully. Everything. Star Trek Starfleet Academy is going to be ending with its second upcoming season, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that, it's going to be ending. Now, this is a show that's been subject to a whole lot of wokery. People have been very critical of this, but it's ending. Now, the reaction to this has been quite unhinged. Okay? Quite unhinged, to say the least. And let me just show you some of the initial reactions to this, okay? Right-wing haters killed something that was objectively amazing. Starfleet Academy had one of the best first seasons of any Trek show. Period. These anti-woke losers would have had a stroke at Riker rizzing up non-binary aliens in TNG. Star Trek has always been progressive. That is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. It was the right-wing haters that killed the show. It definitely wasn't people not watching. It was the right-wingers. They did it. They pulled the plug on the show. And yes, good points. Objectively. Yes, when has arts ever become objective? Very interesting. Here's another reaction saying, this is because of Antichrist, Trump, and MAGA supporters, as they hate LGBT, trans, and woke in TV shows, movies, and video games, and they get them to do badly in sales and ratings. The cope is next level, ladies and gentlemen. It's literally, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault that this show is getting canceled. You can't make this up. You literally can't make this up. Okay? Here's another one saying, it is depressing and disappointing seeing people celebrate the cancellation of a series. Do people not realize this hurts the franchise as a whole? Yes, you cannot like something, but there is a need to continually punch it down. Interesting. Very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. People celebrating things that shouldn't be celebrated. I swear I've seen this before, but in much darker context. Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting. But you know what we're going to do in this moment? We're going to turn to some of the experts. We're going to turn to the critical drinker. Because he came out with a perfectly timed video right here that we're going to react to right now, ladies and gentlemen. Smug, but not Alana. No, not today. Just a smug thumbnail, for sure. For sure. But let's get into the latest from the critical drinker. Let me pause the music here. There we go. Let's get into it.
No, 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 no.
It's over before it even began, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, some decisions in life lead to such entirely predictable consequences that you wonder why they were even made in the
He should never stop using Nick Cage in his reactions.
first place. The Vindaloo curry from that dodgy takeaway down the road that leads to diarrheal outpourings of such explosive force that they threaten the structural integrity of both your toilet bowl and your rectum. The impromptu game of football in your late 40s with zero prep time that leads to a slipped disc and the grim realization that you definitely haven't still got it. Or in this case, the decision to release a new Star Trek show about an alphabet soup of sassy 20-something women and benignly agreeable pussified men as they enroll in the giant adult daycare center that passes for Starfleet Academy in the minds of modern writers.
Modern writing. The modern writing. I think I've heard that one before, ladies and gentlemen. The modern writing, the modern audience. All of it, beautiful. It's beautiful to see it crumble and go up in flames again.
I think I swallowed my com badge.
Already.
Filled with cringe-inducing attempts at Joss Whedon-style quippy dialogue written by aging millennial losers without an ounce of talent or experience to their names, desperate attempts to pander to an intellectually stunted Gen Z audience that has as much interest in Star Trek as I do with experimental feminist theatre, and rounded out with some of the worst set design, direction, and performances in the entire 60-year history of the franchise. And the result? A one-way ticket to cancellation town, baby. Population, Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, something that many decades. You know, you think about an IP like this, it's so easy. I'm sorry, you know, and I'm not a TV producer, I'm nothing like that, right? This is all about taking an IP that is a cash grab, that has a history, that has a built-in fan base, and you can't do anything with it because you're so hyper-focused on being on the right side of history by doing all these things to the point of absolutely imploding. And this is just another example.
Oh no! What happened?
That's right. Much to everyone's non-surprise, and to the dismay of literally dozens of people who claim to be fans on social media, the news broke last night that Paramount had wisely decided to flush this laughable turd of a show down the refuse chute of entertainment history at their earliest possible convenience. Which in this case means at the end of Season 2, which is only getting made because it was already commissioned before Season 1 even came out.
That's a very important thing to point out about pretty much the majority of shows that are canceled after they have 2 seasons. People think that because they're getting another season that it's a success. No, it's because they already had it done. It was already completed. They're just cutting their losses by playing it, squeezing out as much as they can from it, and then moving on, right? Like, they already committed to a certain amount. Why waste it if it's already been completed, right?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Damn, man, talk about counting your chickens before they've hatched. These guys were counting them before the hens even started fucking. Now, remember how I said that Skydance buying over Paramount late last year was probably going to lead to some major changes once all the formalities were out of the way? David Ellison and his buddies had some breathing room to evaluate their lineup of projects, and that the first target for cancellation should absolutely be Star Trek? Well, there you go. Actually, now that I think about it, someone should probably do a wellness check on Robert Picardo. That dude looked more drunk than me even before the news broke. Oh, steady there, big man. Anyway, let us see what Paramount has to say about the matter. Quote, "We're incredibly proud of the ambition, passion, and creativity that went into bringing Star Trek's Starfleet Academy to life."
It's a literal participation medal, ladies and gentlemen. They're getting a participation medal. That is the absolute state of modern media these days. Thank you for trying and being creative. Ratings? What's ratings?
Are you? Why? What part of it are you most proud of? The 51% audience score? The fact that it barely even made a ripple on your own streaming platform? The absolute mockery that it earned from the entire internet? The $100 million of badly needed cash that you flushed down the shitter to make this thing happen? Not to mention the tens of millions you still have to pour into Season 2?
Great plan.
Thank you.
He likes your plan, Chief.
You know, it's worth pointing out that you could have made 6 Godzilla -1s for the cost of just a single season of Academy and still had enough.
That hurt on a very deep level. That analogy stung, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about like other examples, like the Acolyte, for example, and the hundreds of millions of dollars that was poured into that could have gone into something much better, a much more proven formula. But we get slop like that and slop like this. Ugh.
Enough left over to take the entire production team on a 2-week vacation to Hawaii. The series introduced audiences to a bold new group of characters, welcomed familiar faces, and expanded the Star Trek universe in exciting new ways.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Tell me, which new character was your favourite? The body-positive hologram with learning difficulties? The other body-positive cadet with learning difficulties who managed to swallow her own communicator somehow? I don't think anyone wants to crawl through her Jeffrey's tube. The body-positive officer in charge.
This is the one that this is the image that ends up in all the thumbnails that'll be announcing the dismay, the downfall of this show. This is the one right here. This is stunning and brave in action right here. Totally amazing stuff. I can't believe this didn't work out. This, for me personally, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for quality television, ladies and gentlemen. This makes me feel empowered and brave.
Of physical fitness, who looks like climbing a flight of stairs would involve making camp for the night and trying for the top the following morning. You know, I think I'm spotting a bit of a theme here. The captain who treats the bridge of a starship like a charming little book and coffee shop in Portland. The gay, sensitive, dress-wearing Klingon born from a polyamorous relationship.
Oh, come on, dude. Let me play that back for a second. Let me just play it back for a second.
The gay, sensitive, dress-wearing Klingon born from a polyamorous relationship that... Sensitive, dress-wearing Klingon born from a polyamorous relationship that...
Goodness.
Fuck it. I just can't with this show, man.
They checked every box imaginable, and they went even further. It's like they didn't even... They didn't leave anything untouched. There's nothing left to the imagination. They went all the way. Amazing.
We're grateful to Alex Kurtzman, Noga Landau, Gaia Violo, and the entire cast and crew who pushed storytelling boundaries in the spirit of Gene Roddenberry's vision.
It's all bullshit. All of it.
Oh dear, someone's telling porky pies, aren't they? This vacuous, childish, incompetent replication of Star Trek would be enough to make Gene Roddenberry go... And yeah,
But no, according to all of the modern audience people on social media, this was what Star Trek was always about. This is how it always was. You just couldn't hang back in the day. You would have been completely shocked and appalled by what has existed for decades. This was not a departure from the norm at all. Right.
That scene because it still haunts me to this goddamn day. I think we both know that if I was to go to his grave and play an episode of Starfleet Academy loudly enough, I'm pretty sure he'd rise from the ground, driven by pure rage at what had been done to his creation, and hunt down every single person involved in it.
Correct.
Pray that I do not enact such a Machiavellian scheme. I think my favourite part of this might be the final sentence though. We look forward to sharing the upcoming second and final season with everyone and continuing to celebrate the cast, crew, and all that was accomplished with this series.
You sure about that?
I really don't think you want to be talking about Starfleet Academy in terms of accomplishments,
No.
lads. The fact is, you gambled this entire project on one thing: the modern audience.
That's all you had to tell me. All you had to tell me was the modern audience. That's all we got. We got the modern audience. And I would tell you, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. And that's it. Don't need to hear any more. The modern audience, you know, people say the modern audience doesn't show up. Well, that's technically true. But really, the modern audience does show up. The modern audience just is incredibly small and meaningless in terms of their support. They do show up for stuff like this, but there's like 10 of them, right? There's like 10 of them. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. First time catching you live, Rev. Keep up the great work. Love your vids, content, messages, and outlooks. Much love, brother. Yo, I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream.
And you lost. Big time. Why? Because you gambled on something that never even existed. It was nothing but a smokescreen, don't you know? The tiny minority of moronic, terminally online activists who make the most noise on social media aren't loyal fans of your franchise that'll support your product, or even consumers that could be exploited for money, because they have none. And if they did, they wouldn't give it to you, that's for fucking sure. All they care
True.
about is winning, breaking down another barrier, capturing another cultural landmark to deny it to their enemies, destroying someone else's toys so that everyone will be just as miserable as them. And it seems in Alex Kurtzman, they found the most useful of idiots.
Black Lives Matter, the NAACP. The goal is not really to promote Star Trek, but to promote these organizations and to use our platform to be able to bring greater awareness to these very, very important messages and places.
Honestly, if I was in charge of Paramount Skydance, I'd probably Batgirl Season 2 quicker than you could say modern audience, take the tax rate down and save all the post-production costs. I mean, really.
Well, that seems to be the usual attempt, right? To cut your losses. There's so many different main popular IPs that these days have to basically cut their losses, which is, why is that the norm? Why is that the thing that is constantly happening, right? Grim times.
Considering Season 1 opened to dismal reviews and never even managed to chart, who exactly do you think is going to watch Season 2 of a show that's already been cancelled and therefore has no future? Save the money, save the embarrassment, save what's left of Star Trek's legacy, and just kill this horrifying, misshapen abomination right now. By all accounts, Alex Kurtzman's contract expires at the end of the year, and he's currently in talks with Paramount about his future at the studio. Now, if they have anything even remotely resembling common sense, the only conversation they should be having with him is, which moving company are you going to use to clear out your office, Alex? And how can we speed things up?
Yeah, here's the thing, guys. We're talking a lot about the, what's the next move? Well, packing it up and leaving as soon as possible. Guys, here's an idea of how bad things really are. Right, there's a petition going around to save Starfleet Academy and try to get a third season. It has 470 signatures. This is absolutely abysmal. This is the modern audience, ladies and gentlemen. The modern audience at play here.
Starfleet Academy isn't just the death rattle of modern Star Trek, it's the final expulsion of toxic, putrid gases from the bloated, decomposing corpse before the whole thing collapses in on itself.
Like an origami chicken.
Shut up, you. There's no diplomatic way of saying this, and if there was, I wouldn't take it anyway because I'm a bit of a dick when it comes to this sort of thing, but I mean it with absolute sincerity when I say, fuck off, Starfleet Academy. You will not be missed. Anyway, that's all I've got for
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's going to be at least like 15 people who are very upset about this. But yeah, that is the Starfleet Academy situation. 2 seasons and out. And that's about all you get when you appeal to the modern audience. Reject modern audience slop. Yes. And I believe there is one more thing I want to get to here in just 1 second. Let me read a couple donos, and then we'll get to the next topic. The woke ship battles look like AI slop. I mean, listen. It's only AI slop when the wrong thing people use it, okay? People only care about that when it's a product they don't, that's not getting the modern audience treatment. Also, I saw a bunch of people saying there's a spammer. I think the spammer, unfortunately, got, like, put into some sort of a restriction, because I'm not seeing any of it. I saw it for a second, and now I don't see any of it, so yeah, rip bozo, I guess. But what else do we got here? Ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 from ASDF. saying it's kind of fitting Starfleet Academy has the most unfortunate abbreviation of any Star Trek series. No. I didn't even think of that. Oh, gosh. STSA. Goodness. That is very unfortunate. It's like the abbreviation people were using for cyberpunk. That one was unfortunate as well. Yes. It was restricted to all not top comments. Yeah, I think when you start spamming like that, you're getting like restricted anyways. But thank you for the 5 there. And Rigid Rat, welcome back, by the way. Thank you for the $1, saying thank you for your donation. Well, thank you for your donation. Thank you, thank you. And Leak It with another €6, saying back in my day, uninteresting shows being canceled was not the fault of consumers like what we have gotten to agree. Let's go back to the 90s. Yeah, it's amazing how people will blame people who don't watch the show for a show getting canceled, which, no, it's the supposed modern audience who's the reason it's getting canceled, because they didn't actually watch any of it. Why are you blaming people who had no interest? Also, I guarantee these right-wingers who are clearly responsible for the show getting canceled, I don't think they'd be welcome in that community. The people who enjoyed this series, if a right-winger said, yeah, I want to watch this, do you think they'd be welcome? But yet, they're the ones being blamed for this. Crazy. Choco with the 5 saying Rev, Twitch, or whatever is on fire. I think YouTube is on fire right now. YouTube is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. And also Ghost Fox with the 10 saying, thanks for filling the end of my shift at work and my ride home with such odd pictures and stuff to want to scream. Desu. There you go. Very base. Thank you for the 10. And ladies and gentlemen, fire up the 07s again. Fire up the 07s again, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Ren with another 50. The red text, that means it's very serious business. Saying, I feel bad for Star Trek fans since it's a franchise made to continue. Stuff like Star Wars had a legitimate ending before Disney, so anything after can be waved off as non-canon. That is a very good point. There is something very painful about watching something you love get ripped apart slowly over the course of time. I think one of the easiest examples, kind of like a 1+1 situation. Very, very quick and easy to digest, right? Let me turn on the music, by the way. We got dead noise in the background. I think about Teen Titans, okay? Still to this day, I love Teen Titans, right? When I was a kid, and even into early adulthood, I loved that show. One of my favorite shows of all time, Teen Titans. Okay, loved it. Then they come out with Teen Titans Go. Like, we never got a proper ending to the original Teen Titans series. Then we get Teen Titans Go, which was an absolute slop fiesta. That not only was bad, it also mocked many of the things people were sad about involving the original series. Raven is my goat. Raven, I had like the biggest crush on Raven growing up. You know, it's like that meme with like the goth girls, you know, we all grew up with. It did something to us, okay? But that's like the easiest comparison ever. When there's trouble, you know who to call. Who do you call, chat? Call the Teen Titans. Yeah, it's streaming on Tubi. There's a lot of streaming platforms that now have Teen Titans, the original one, which they didn't. The only place I could find it back in the day was on Boomerang. That was it. It was on Boomerang. And I hate to be the guy who's like, oh, new thing, I hate new thing. But like, no, that was garbage. That was garbage for sure. And the Tart Knights with the 500 ARS saying slowly, ha. I saw what I loved ripped apart like instantly in Guilty Gear Strive. I can't believe they support grooming and terrorism now. I am so glad they are losing their audience now. Yeah, that's a whole can of worms right there. I've talked about the whole Bridget situation. That was always, not always, it still is an active mess that people talk about to this day. Who are you going to call Ghostbusters? Well, okay, that's fair enough. Starfire, my girl. You can't pick a bad girl in that show. Starfire is a loyal one, but we can't talk about Starfire without talking about, or at least mentioning, Blackfire. Okay, we all remember episode 2. Okay, we all remember episode 2. Okay. Imagine a young Rev, like a middle school Rev, encountering a Blackfire. It got me thinking. Okay? It got me thinking back then. It caused irreparable damage. Fellow Argentinian. Yes, we got, guys, we are worldwide over here, okay? We're worldwide. Worldwide. What's up, Giggles? What have you missed out on? We talked about some Starfleet Academy getting canceled. We talked about some people trying to cancel me and failing. And what else did we... Anything else? Well, you know what? This is a good time to transition back into topics. We gotta focus. We gotta focus, buddies. Buddies and buddettes. That's right. I know there's about 8% of you that are women out there. We gotta address the whole crowd. Rev is Mr. Worldwide? Yes. It's very true, Ibuki. 100%. Blackfire was why I'm bad at choosing the right woman. Oh, no. Yeah, you and many others. That's life. That's life. Greetings from Peru, my excellent Rev. Yo, welcome back, Simos. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. I like seeing especially the familiar faces from Twitch. Wow, only 8%. Don't laugh. It used to be 4%, okay? My channel used to be 4% female, okay? We have risen to 8%, okay? That is an accomplishment, ladies and gentlemen. We're very diverse in my community. Yo, Churama Tuna with a 5 saying, modern audience, drama, societal collapse. It's all so tiring, isn't it? That's right. That's right. It is all so tiring, but I'm here. 8% is a big number. Hey, don't laugh. Don't laugh, guys. That's bigger than most in my like corner of the internet, okay? And then we got like less than 2% not sure or something else. I should, if I was greedy, I'd count them and I'd say 10%. Is Rev experimenting with new ways to cook eggs? I guess so. I'm wearing it loud and proud. That's right, Rocket. We don't bully currencies around here. Never. And welcome back. All right. So what we got? Let's see. At least one more thing to talk about quick. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it was a nice roundup, guys. For sure. But I wanted to give a quick update to a situation I covered on the main channel recently, where I was talking about this clip that went viral. Someone sharing a clip of Asmongold talking about migrants, and the caption provided here is very misleading. It is saying Asmongold demands a solution to deal with migrants in America and offers to help ICE personally brutalize families, and has this quote about parasite migrants. Now, there's an issue here because if you want to watch the whole clip, you can check it out for yourself. But the clip itself is not just played out of context or not provided with context. It's zoomed in. So you can't see what he's talking about, but you can kind of see it right here. You can see Shirley, as in Nick Shirley. What Asmongold is talking about in this clip is a Nick Shirley video where he's exposing some people, including illegals and migrants, who are committing tax fraud. They're opening up daycares and hospice centers that are fake. They are stealing taxpayer dollars. And Asmongold, in his very, very problematic take, is that these sorts of people should not be allowed to do this. And especially if they're illegal, if they're not actually citizens, they should be taken care of. They should be deported, right? And people took this out of context to make him seem like he's talking about just migrants in general who are minding their own business. But of course, this is presented in a very dishonest way, and you can see people like Hassan saying Twitch banned me for saying Zionist animals, by the way, which he's fully aware that this gets you banned on Twitch. Like, they literally give an example that says, if you say Zionist followed by something that involves something that's not human, like an animal, you will be banned. It's a specific example. Agree with this rule, disagree with it, it doesn't matter. It's a rule, right? And you shouldn't be shocked that when you violate the rule, you get punished. But the Orbiters got the call as well. Sean DeBlack said, pure Nazi filth. The fact that Twitch is allowing this scourge on the platform will forever be a stain on their reputation. And you would get 22,000 likes, but we get ratioed by Asmongold saying, y'all just keep posting my greatest hits. But there was another set of odds and ends here, where a VTuber here, named Vio, would join in. Now, of course, with individuals like this, they really represent what's going on in the VTubing scene. You know, their average tweet promoting their streams gets 13 likes, but then they get thousands of likes whining about Asmongold. Have you seen this sort of pattern before? Where they say, so, hey, at Twitch and Dan Clancy, what's up? So trying to get him deplatformed, obviously, right? And when that didn't work, they quoted themselves after retweeting themselves, saying people screaming about how this was clipped out of context. Meanwhile, this is his reaction to being called Nazi filth. The Nazi filth that he is. Also, the way he bots his likes on Twitter. So this person is accusing Asmongold of botting. Which, I'm gonna be real, there's a big botting issue on Twitch. Or Twitter, that is. But Asmongold? You think Asmongold is botting likes because he ratioed this guy here? I don't know if you know this, but Asmongold is one of the biggest streamers in the world. Do you really think that nobody agrees with this guy and he has to bot likes on Twitter? What is he, a V-tweeter or something that needs the attention this badly? But also, they call him Nazi filth, and they wanted attention. And attention they received. Asmongold would reply to this saying, I should get banned because I want to deport migrant scammers. Are you regarded? And you can see the high IQ response here saying, ew, where's my roach spray? Get it? Because Asmongold is dirty and has roaches in his home, and that's the go-to insult for this guy instead of addressing anything he's saying. Yeah, very interesting stuff right there. But this is the part that always makes... It always makes me laugh, right? Person calls out Asmongold, gets a response, has nothing to say, because they never expected him to actually reply, right? And then they do the typical insecure response when they're getting bodied by the person they were asking for attention from. They post a selfie. Like, oh, anyways, look, here's a selfie, and, you know, I guess whatever gives you the validation you need. But that's a strange response. But a day later, nothing's happening. They're losing the attention, so they go back to the well. They go back to the well they need for attention, where they say this. Well, they don't really say much of anything. They just post a screenshot with, obviously, the original response cropped, right? They just leave it to, I should get banned. And people were genuinely confused, saying, even he admits he's a vile person and should be banned. What is Twitch doing? Do your effing job. So people are so brain dead. They actually think this is the real tweets. And they're responding in kind, saying he's admitting that he should be banned. There's so much brain rot here, I don't even know what's going on. Absolutely insane. And then someone says, why are you obsessed with him? Referring to Asmongold. And the VTuber says, why is he obsessed with getting people like me offed? Whoa. Whoa. I'm sorry. Huh? What are we talking? When did we get to this point? where Asmongold is obsessed with getting people like this VTuber ended violently. How did we get here? This is Asmongold derangement syndrome in full effect. This person believes Asmongold is trying to put this person in mortal danger. Of course, there's no proof of anything. Like, this is the situation. You fell for an out of context clip. You don't want to see the context. And even when you're presented with it, you ignore it. You get baited by rage baiters who are posting it. You call for deplatforming based on those lies. Then you actually get the attention you're asking for. You have no response even though the person you're calling out is directly engaging with you. Then you post cropped screenshots to try to get him to agree with your narrative. Then you claim he's trying to get people like you offed. This is what Asmongold derangement syndrome does to people. They want attention so badly that they'll get it in any way possible, no matter how stupid they look in the process. Truly, truly amazing stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that was something I wanted to quickly cover here because what are we doing? What are we doing here? And ASDF with another 10, by the way, saying, for better or worse, Star Trek has a universe reset switch, the temporal Cold War. The series can pull at any time, so it's possible a future generation comes along and gets Star Trek back on its feet. Who know, guys? You never know with this stuff. I believe, you know, we gotta hit a point where things turn around, and maybe the right person gets in charge and they pull the levers correctly, right? They pull the levers correctly. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, personally speaking, I think that's gonna have to do it for today's video. I'm content brain, guys. Today's stream. That's right, today's stream. I gotta go catch a movie night date with the wife, with Straub. We're seeing Project Hail Mary. I've heard very good things about that. I'm excited to see it, but I don't want to be late. I gotta get my popcorn, dude. That's part of the reason I love the movies. I like a good popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? But thank you for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all the support, the super chats, the memberships. You guys are very based. One less desu. There you go. And Common Please with the $5 saying decent sized glasses today, Rev. I expect you to pump those numbers up next time. I will. And thank you for the last second dono. I will keep that in mind for next stream. But I never change my glasses size, just to clarify here. But thank you guys for hanging out, spending time with me today. And yeah, stay tuned because I think I'm going to try to stream tomorrow as well. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover. But thank you for hanging out. Have a blessed rest of your morning, afternoon, or night. And I will see you very soon. Peace. Ooh.